democracy,
sustainability,
accountability,
empathy,
humility,
forgiveness,
rehabilitation,
love,
hope,
the opportunity and the right to pursue purpose, and the right to have joy.
This was the 5th convening of the Square One Roundtable on the Future of Justice Policy. We were really hoping to draw on the conversations and the thinking and the expertise that had come together in the past roundtables with the idea that this type of sustained conversation had something important to contribute to how we think about justice in this country.
We wanted to set out some guideposts and to ask people what values should guide the architecture, the design of a new vision for justice.
What a spectacular way to kind of wrap up this intensive project, because values is the fundamental part of how we go forward. Values is everything when we think about the framing of criminal justice revolutions.
The value that I think the criminal justice system has now, the values that it holds, are simply about implementing white supremacy and separation and division and harm.
Justice don't always mean incarceration. That has become America's fix-all. Having experienced incarceration, I didn't come home fixed. I didn't come home whole. I didn't come home well or healed.
It's not just in our criminal justice system. It is a value set that is really inculcated from childhood in the way children are raised and the way they are taught. We operate on punishment.
In order for America to work, we have to have people in jails or in plantations. In order to do things differently, we got to do America differently.
The housing system, the medical system, and the legal system fail people. And when people churn and revisit emergency departments in jail, it's not because they're failures, it's because the system has failed people.
The systems are broken. They're fundamentally unjust. That there's something here that needs immediate, urgent attention and cannot be ignored.
I have asked myself, what do I believe should happen with individuals who act in some of the most egregious ways? I've looked these individuals in their eyes, and in every case, that person was a person that we as a community failed over and over again. No person is irredeemable. No person is irredeemable. The system is.
I thought it was really telling that we wanted to have a discussion about values, but it became a discussion about politics. The only values we should care about are values that actually get experienced as part of politics, or as I would call it, looking backwards, history. These moments when social movements are transforming our society tend to be the moments that have, for American society, triggered these revaluation of values.
Changes that need to happen are not fundamentally policy changes, but political changes. Changes in how power is distributed, who has voice in the corridors of power.
Everyone has some brilliance that they could bring as problem solvers, researchers, and be part of the solution in their particular role. And for us to come together and unify and really have power across community, power across agency, power across government, those are the steps that we're taking in New York City.
Why are people so unwilling to accept the injustice that currently exists? And I think I've come to the conclusion it's because nobody wants to have to confront realizing that their whole worldview is not absolutely correct.
We're never all going to agree on exactly what we should do to get a system that is fair and just. But we can agree on the things that make communities whole, that make human beings thrive.
We shouldn't be focused on simply responding to something that has happened. If you focus instead on health, physical health, emotional health, mental health, economic health, then the motivations to take from someone else or to harm someone else don't exist.
A system of justice is one in which no one is thrown away, in which we really respect the dignity of humanity. But there's also something bigger. There's something about connection. There's something about love. It's actually not just respecting individuals, but also our relationships to each other.
What are our values? Do those values connect to what's happening in our justice system? How do we uplift humanity? How do we uplift families? How do we uplift communities? And how do we bring back restoration and transformation? That's the pathway to reimagining justice.